Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. In this video I'm going to teach you how to do the fern leaf lace motif bottom up. Before I show you how to do top down, and what I mean is the leaf of the fern motif, this one go up and this one go down. And before I did this one, I'll show you how to do this one's in the flat. They are very easy to do. I hope you guys like it and give it a try, and here is the list of material you're going to need to make them. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell, that way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my video in both Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see an English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. There you'll find the English version, and there also have some playlists, one of them Ruby Statement English tutorial. There you'll find all my English videos. To make this fern lace motif, I'm going to use the leftover yarn that I have here. It's the same that I've been using for the other ways to make this motif. It's from Loops and Thread Impeccable, medium 4, 100% acrylic. The color is soft rose, and when they're new, these balls are 128 grams. I'm going to use my little circular 9 inches needle. They are 4.5 millimeter. I'm gonna leave the link here in the description box below where I bought them. I'm gonna use a round counter and marker at the same time. I did a tutorial on how to make these. I'm gonna leave the link here. You're gonna see an eye. You click on the eye and it will bring you to this tutorial. Also a regular marker. I have a tutorial as well. I'm gonna leave the link in here. And this stitch is multiple of 21. No background stitches or anything. But for this one, I did 2 on each side. For this one, I don't want to make any. I'm just going to do 2 motifs to record, one in Spanish, one in English. And I'm going to do the border stitches as well, the 1x1 rib, to see if you can use these for a hat or a neck warmer to do circular work, to see how it look in the border with a 1x1 rib. For this one I may do a few extra round, not 5, probably a few more, to see if it's less or more this indentation on the stitch in the border. I'm gonna start by leaving the tail long enough to cast on my 42 stitches. I'm gonna do a slip knot. And I know a few people don't like my long colorful nails. They find it very distracting, but that's my taste. I like my long nails, and I don't want to sacrifice my nail to please other people. I had to please myself first, and I love them. So I try to explain my video as much as I can, with English being my second language, trying to make them easy for anybody to understand. So that's the way it is. So I did my slip knot, and I'm gonna cast on 42 stitches, and that will be 42 plus 1 to close the circumference. Each motif is 21 stitches, so depending on the amount of motifs that you want to do, you will do 21, 21, 21, 21. At the end, you will cast on an extra one to close the circumference. So when I have my 43 stitches in the needle, I will meet you here. Here I have my 43 stitches, and now I'm going to make sure that this is not twisted to close the circumference. I still have to do a knot in here, but first I'm going to close the circumference before I do it. So making sure that it's not twisted, I'm going to pass the first stitch from the left hand to the right hand needle. I have to hold it really well here because these are very tiny needles and they tend to pull. So I'm gonna lose that last stitch that I did. I'm gonna pass it over the tip of the needle. I'm gonna pull the tail to make sure, and the other one to make that smaller. I'm gonna pass that stitch back to the left hand needle, and here I'm gonna do a knot with the tail and working yarn. You see, when you pull, and that gap is smaller. And now you're ready to start with round 1 of the 1 by 1 rib. My marker is slash round counter, and I'm gonna start with the 1 by 1 rib. Until I have, I don't know, 6-7 rounds to see what I'm gonna look like if I make a hat or a cowl or neck warmer. This 1 by 1 rib, like I say, I just doing it to see if I can do those things. These are optional for this sample. I don't count them for the motif. So I'm gonna do just around this size like that, and I did 7 rounds, and this one I did 5, and I did 2 more in this one to see with extra how it look. And I already did these 21 stitches, the first motif in Spanish. So now in the next 21 I'm gonna do it in English. So here in the screen you're gonna see from row 1 to row 6. Each time I do a row or a round, you will see the repetition that you have to do. I have a start and brackets on each side of the round repetition that you have to do. What you're gonna do. So there will be your 21 stitches that you're gonna repeat over and over on each round. So we're gonna start with 1 net. Now you're gonna do yarn over, net 3. Since you had to net 3 after the yarn over, you just bring the yarn to the front for the yarn over and net 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're gonna SSK. I already have a video tutorial on how to do that stitch, and I'm gonna leave the link here with more detail of how to do it. You're gonna see an eye, you click on the eye, and I will bring you there. So SSK is a slip, slip. So each S is 1 stitch that you have to slip. So you're gonna slip, slip net wise. You're supposed to return your stitches to the left hand needle and then knit those 2 together through the back strand. So I found an easy way to do it. So you're gonna slip, slip net wise, and instead of passing those stitches back to the left hand needle, you're gonna pass the left hand needle through those 2 front strands, and you see the right hand needle is already in place in the back. So just keep those steps, and you're gonna knit those 2 together through the back strand. Now you're gonna knit 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're gonna knit 2 together. So you're gonna knit those 2 together. Knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, and you start all over again from the beginning of that repetition. From knit 1, yarn over, knit 3, SSK, knit 10, knit 2 together, 3 knit, yarn over. So that is the 21 stitch repetition that you're gonna do over and over, depending on the amount of motif that you're gonna do. So what you're supposed to do now is start with a net 1. So you have to bring the yarn to the front for the yarn over. Okay, so I already worked the first motif in Spanish, this one in English, so now I have to work in round So I finished that round, and I wanted to explain you that these are very easy motif to do, because the only thing that changed is the position of some of the stitches. For example, with this one you increase the stitches at the beginning and decrease the amount of stitches in the center. So for example, in round 1 you start with 1 net. Now in round 2 you're going to start with 2 net. And in the center we had 10 net. Now you're going to have 8. And when you start here, because I already did the beginning in Spanish, you have to make sure, because you finished in the round before, I wanted to explain that way it makes things easier for you. You finish with a yarn over, so you have to make sure that the marker of the beginning is in the front of your work, because if it's in the back, the yarn over will be in front of the marker. You want it behind the marker, that way it's part of the round before, not of the next round. So you have to make sure when you start this second round, your marker is in the front and the yarn over is before the marker, okay? Because here I already don't have a yarn over before the marker. I wanted to explain that way you know what to do at the beginning of this second round. So you're gonna start with 2 net. So 1, and you see the number 2 is the yarn over from the round before. That's why you're increasing in the beginning and decreasing in the center. Now yarn over net 3, yarn to the front for the yarn over net 3. Now you're gonna SSK, so slip neckwise and knit those two together through the back strand. Now you're gonna knit 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Knit 2 together. Knit 3. Yarn over, knit 1. Yarn to the front for the yarn over and knit 1. And you see, because I did the yarn over behind the marker, is in this side. Otherwise you will have it in the other side of the marker. You know what I'm trying to explain. You have to have it in the back because it's part at the end of this round. That will happen each time you do round 1 and work in round 2. And those repetitions. So you're going to knit 1. Yarn from the front, knit 1, creating the yarn over in here. And like that is how you're going to continue again. Each repetition, you start with the 2 net, yarn over, knit 3, SSK, knit 8, knit 2 together, knit 3, yarn over, knit 1, and so on until you have all the repetition that you're doing for your Now we're going to work in round 3, and you're going to start with 3 net. One, 2, and 3, and the third one is the yarn over from the round before. Now yarn over, knit 3, yarn to the front, knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're gonna SSK, slip, slip, and knit those 2 through the back strand. It's really difficult to work with these really short needles. So you knit those 2 together through the back strand. That was SSK. Now you're going to knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're gonna knit 2 together. Knit 2 together. You're gonna knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, knit 2. Yarn to the front for the yarn over, and knit 2. The first one will be the yarn over from the round before. 1 and 2. And then you start all over again with that repetition. Knit 3, yarn over, knit 3, SSK, knit 6, knit 2 together, knit 3, yarn over, knit 2, and so on until you have the amount of repetition that you have to do for. Now we're going to work in round 4. You're going to start with 4 knit on knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and number 4 is the yarn over from the round before. Now yarn over, knit 3, yarn to the front, knit 3, now you're going to SSK, slip, slip, knit those 2 together through the back strand. And when you have to SSK, that is 2 together, knit 2 together, but since you knit them together through the back strand, these stitches go to the left, inclined to the left, because the 2 together go to the right, so you are decreasing like this, okay, creating this design. So now after you SSK, you're going to knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to knit 2 together. Now you're going to knit 3. Yarn over, knit 3. Yarn to the front for a yarn over and knit 3. And the first one will be the yarn over from the round before. And I mentioned that way you know if you miss doing the yarn over in the round before, you don't want to have it here at the beginning or at the end in here. You know, when you do, you start with a knit 4. Number 4 was the yarn over. So you have to make sure that you do the yarn over there in the round before. Otherwise you will be missing stitches. So now I have to knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. And that's the repetition that you're going to do over and over. You start with knit 4, yarn over, knit 3, SSK, knit 4, knit 2 together, knit 3, yarn over, knit 3. And you will do the repetition as many repetitions that you do. We're going to work in round 5. You're going to start with 5 knit on knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And number 5, you see, is the yarn over from the round before. Yarn over, knit 3, yarn to the front, knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, SSK, slip, slip, knit 2 together through the back strand, knit 2, knit 2 together, net 3, yarn over, net 4, yarn to the front for a yarn over, and you see the first one of those 4 is the yarn over from the round before. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you start that repetition all over again. Net 5, yarn over, net 3 is SK, net 2 together, net 3, yarn over, net 4, and so on until you finish all the repetition that you're doing of the motif. Round 6, you're going to start with net 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is the yarn over from the round before. And I'm sorry I'm repeating this, but I want to make sure that you're not missing a yarn over. So 6, yarn over, net 3, yarn to the front for the yarn over, net 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to SSK, slip the wise, slip, and knit those 2 together through the back strand. Now you're going to knit 2 together, and you're going to knit 3, yarn over, net 5, sorry, yarn to the front for the yarn over, net 5, and the first one is the yarn over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you're going to start with that repetition all over again. You're going to knit 6, yarn over, net 3, SSK, knit 2 together, net 3, yarn over, net 5, and so on until you finish round. I finished those 6 round repetition. Now I'm going to put my marker in 0 again and start all over again with the repetition of round 1 to 6. Now I'm going to record, but I don't going to be explaining because I already left here in the screen those repetition that you're supposed to do, so you can write it down and follow along for my next repetition. I'm just gonna leave here with music doing my second one, and after that off camera I will do 2 more, in total of 4, exactly the same as I did for this one. Once I finish those repetition, I will do the same amount of 1 by 1 rib that I did at the beginning. I will do at the end, and I will cast off my stitches. And how I'm gonna cast them off? As you are working them. So you're gonna start with a net, and then you do a purl, and then you pass the net over the purl. You will do a net, and then the purl that you have behind, you will pass over the net, and so on. That way you get a really nice stretchy 1 by 1 border. So I'm gonna work those repetition, and then I will show you what it look like. This fern lace bottom up and around. I wanted to mention to pay attention when you're doing this round that the marker is in the front, not in the back, because if I place the marker, you see here the yarn is in the front and is in this side of the marker for the yarn over. But if I place the marker in the back, and then the yarn over will be in the other side of the marker. Okay, so you have to pay attention to that, because otherwise that, you see, if you have the marker in the front, is in the other side of the marker. So you have to pay attention to this detail when you do round 1. Okay. I finished those 6 round repetition. I'm gonna do those 6 repetition 2 times more, and then I will do the 1 by 1 rib, cast off my stitches, and I will show you the end result. I finished the motifs. The design look like this, and this one is bottom up and around, and this one is top down, and it's not just that you're doing the piece bottom up or top down, is that the motif is top down or bottom up. You see, that's the difference. This one look wider because I did those extra 2 stitches in between motifs on each side, so I did 4 extra stitches, and this one is longer because I did more rounds in the border. I wanted to play with that to see which one it will look good in a hat or a neck warmer or cowl. Both look fine, but for a hat, for example, this one will be perfect because it's more even the 1 by 1 rib than this one. Okay, this one for a neck warmer will look fine because no matter that I have that wave in here, like so. So I'm done with the fern lace motifs. So this one and these ones are the same, and the round and flat, and these two, let me zoom back a little bit. I'll zoom out like so. They're gorgeous, so I'm not doing more stitches like the fern stitch anymore. So if I do it again, it will be in a project, a hat, a neck warmer or cowl and something. I will use these beautiful motifs. Well, I hope you guys like it, and give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make any design with these motifs and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet y Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day.